Laughter is the best medicine. That's what we spoke about last week. To be able to laugh is when you really feel free. When people insult you and you don't take it personally. When friends hurt you, don't take it personally. Make light of everything. Sensible light. You have to work it through first before you can make light of everything. Understand where your complexes come from. Understand where you are coming from. Where am I coming from? Am I coming from a place of love? Am I coming from a place of anger? Am I coming from a place of peace? Am I coming from a place of hypocrisy? Many of us pretend, hold back a lot of feelings for a long time. Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And one day they burst. Can't do it anymore. So you have to be very clear, very truthful to yourself, and very fair and truthful to those around you. Because if you are not, you not only hurt yourself, you hurt those around you. It's not their fault you haven't been truthful. So that's all karmic, and it does come back. It's really important to be aware. And life and death is all about awareness. Because if you think today's topic is understanding death, so funny, I've been moving house and I saw a booklet last night. Understanding death. I said, same topic. So I didn't have time to read it because I've been really busy. But today in the office, I was just skimming that little booklet and I read the last paragraph and it's beautiful. May I read it to you?
Yeah, I think I put it in there. So we need to get it's a little thin book.
Yeah.
And the glasses.
I just thought it was so profound and so beautiful. And I said to Shanti and Beth, see, I had to pick up this book just to read this one paragraph to you all. It's a message for some reason. That's how magic works. That's how the spirit works. It tells you what to do. Then it's up to you whether you do it or not. It's up to you whether you do it or not. Many times you get messages and you know you should do it. Then you get lazy or you think, it sounds too silly, or people think I'm crazy or whatever. And then you don't do it. And you haven't lived your message. And you haven't lived your truth. And you haven't lived the instinct. My advice is, so long as it gives some benefit to someone, yourself included, do it. Don't hold back because you're shy, because, what if I embarrass myself? Oh, maybe I don't like to speak in public. That's all human nonsense. It's all human nonsense. We need to build up on our spiritual strength. My master told me, a real spiritual person has to learn to do everything, especially the things you don't like to do. And I'm telling you it's absolutely true, because every time I say, I don't want to do this, life makes me do it. I don't even say it, I can't say it. Every time. So I have to laugh. The universe, you think you're in control? You think you're in control? Think again. So that's the fun of life. So you start to have fun with the gods. They play with us. They really play with us. Okay, there are some who have fallen in love with too much energy today. There are some who have fallen in love with life and are afraid of death. There are some who are afraid of living and court death. There are yet some who hate living and hate dying. True? It's very true. But the man of wisdom rejoices living as much as the dying. Neither the life nor the death is a burden. Neither the living nor the dying is a relief. He cruises through life overwhelmed by the loving and immortal touch of eternity. He cruises through life. Cruises through life. So life is not, death is, we see life, we see death as two separate things. And this is where the fear comes in. This is where anxiety comes in. This is why when we don't live our human mission, people start to panic, get panic attacks. because we're going to die, and this is it, and this is it. They're just reminders that we are souls traveling in this world. Better wake up to the fact that you are souls traveling on this world that is temporary. And it's a continuous journey, because if you travel through the life beautifully, you'll travel through death beautifully as well. It's just stopping at another train station. So the man of wisdom will love living and equally walking to dying lovingly. But don't, many people tell me, they become quite spiritual. And sometimes they tell me, Nallie, this life is nothing, full of pain, full of sorrow. I want to die. That's not living also. That's not holy. That's not respecting what God has given you in life. That means you are not seeing the beauty. You are making comparisons. I'm much better to that. I'm not frightened of death. What good is this world? You're living in this world. Put something in. There's a reason why you're in this world. Why are you courting death? I love to die. I want to die. As if it's that easy, Wait till you get to your deathbed and say, why did I wish it? I haven't accomplished what I wanted in life. So it's really important. You can only have that feeling of awareness and transformation, gentle transformation, if you live the life, understanding that life is so loving and death is so loving. They're both natural. What is the Bhagavad Gita says? What is born has to die. What is dead has to live. What are you? We're just souls living. It's like worn out clothing, he tells us. Just as a man would throw an old piece of clothing, when you have an old coat or old clothes, give it away. So the man of wisdom or a woman of wisdom, a person of wisdom, will realize that when the time comes, you just take this body, drop it, and if you've not yet found your human mission, you get another body to accomplish it. But it's the awareness is what is important. And with awareness, you understand death and you make friends with death. When you make friends with death, immediately, automatically, you make friends with life. When you deny any, you're not in balance. That means you have not found your peace. If you deny life and say, oh, it's so much suffering, what's the point? Then you will never find your peace in death, because you haven't understood. You haven't understood. You may pray 10 hours a day. What's the point if you have no peace and you're full of fear? You haven't understood that you are divine, that the soul is immortal. Yesterday I was doing the Bhagavad Gita in Spain, and again Lord Krishna, whose divinity come on earth, like Lord Jesus is the Son of God, Krishna tells Arjuna over and over and over again, the wise do not grieve for the living or the dead. We're all going to die, but you are immortal. Don't you know you are immortal? What is born will never die. And the soul, the spirit that is you, is immortal. And I have known you, he tells Arjuna, all these thousands of lifetimes. You don't remember, but I remember. So we're immortal. We're never going to die. So why are you scared? Why are you frightened? When a job comes to you that is unpleasant, that is difficult, that is hard, why do you panic? Why do you get frightened? Just do it. If you get it wrong, you can take the next road, a new road, the next time. And that's the way it works. Oh, yesterday, that's what Audrey was one of our students. She said her son, Kian, comes every Tuesday. Such a good boy for 2 or 3 years now. And he just sits, lies down. Sometimes we think he's sleeping, but I know he's listening. And he walks out. Now we're in a new place. He plays with the dog and by the beach, comes back. And she was telling us the story. I said, your son is very wise. And she said, oh, Nallie, what happened? I was going to dinner, we were invited to a party. And, I'm so nervous. And I'm saying, I'm taking the wrong road. What if I get lost? And he goes, he's just a little boy. How old is he? 6, 7? Very little. And he goes, don't you listen to Nalanie. She said that if you take the wrong road, it doesn't matter, because you'll make a mistake and then you'll go back and take the right road. So why are you panicking? Please, kidding. another day. You know, I love these stories about mothers talking to their children. Or children, they absorb so much. A friend, somebody in his complex took his bike and he broke it. It wasn't very nice, and he came home. And his mom said, good yogi mom, don't worry, everything will be okay. Don't worry, we'll fix your bike and whatnot. And the next day, the other boy fell and hurt himself really badly on his own bike, or I don't know what. And he goes, you see, Mom, immediate karma. And so funny, it was playing outside with the sound of the beaches. It was quite loud because the place where I talk of Jews is, it's right very near the beach. And he's outside playing with the dog, and every time we start laughing, he pops his open soul and he said, why are you all laughing? He knew we were talking about him. He knew, he was listening. You see, children are very aware. They have that awareness. And when you were a child, we all had this very, that's why Lord Jesus said, be like the children. Because children are very aware. They're very in the moment. They're very keyed in, very, very awake. So we lost that ability to be awake. We lost that ability because we got so caught up in our ego, so caught up with fear and worry, and how should it look like if we love God? We have to be like this 10 hours a day, and all that's going on in the mind is how you should look to other people. I don't think God understands that language, or the universe understands that language, whatever you call God to be. It didn't work when I did it that way. It worked much better when I embraced everyone with love, and I embraced this divine energy, knowing it was love. And Shanta and I were talking today, and the act of just being grateful, grateful, brings so much magic to your life. Just be grateful that you're alive, even though everything turns out wrong. At least I'm alive. Because it's the moment, you see, the moment. If you're glad every moment if you're alive, and then when death comes at that moment, you're ready, you'll enjoy the moment that you're dying. It's a transition, natural. No being ghosts and heavy spirits and staying here. I want to go back into my body, I didn't accomplish what I needed. Because you're clinging to the old. You go right to the light. And she's a nice body if you haven't completed. But if you go with that awareness, that can be a very beautiful thing. It's an adventure. It's an adventure, as life is an adventure. So make life an adventure. How do you make life an adventure? It's all the life you have that you know in this body. You better make it an adventure, or you'll die and it'll be too late. Then you haven't made this life an adventure. Fun, joyous. Yes, there's pain. Of course there's pain. We all experience it. But it wakes us up to reality that this is just a short period of time, and who we really are is immortal, is soul, is spirit. Remind yourself every morning, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. Remind yourself who you are every single day, and joy will come. I'm immortal, I'm immortal, I'm immortal. And then it sets you up for the day. And that was Master Shivananda, master of our master. He used to go around his ashram singing that. Adapt, adjust, accommodate. He had a loud voice. I've heard one of his tapes. Really always laughing, always having fun. And the energy that he created. Do you know how many books he wrote? And you wonder, how did he write all these newsletters? How did he write all these books? And all this, he did so much, left so much in this world. He left the greatest masters of our generation. They're all gone now. Master Shivananda, he left Chinmayananda, Krishnananda, Purnananda, Swami Satchidananda, all the great souls, Vishnu Devananda. You read about all of them. All come from Master Shivananda. That great strength. Truth is one, paths are many. Joyous, joyous, joyous. And many spiritual people I meet who are religious sometimes, they're always talking about death. But live in the moment. The time will come to die. There'll be plenty of time for that. So understand death not as a threat, not as a fear, but also understand it's imminent, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Why do you have to understand that it's going to happen? Because that's the only thing we do know for sure. So what we don't know for sure is when, how it's going to happen. We don't know that. We don't. You can have fortune tellers telling you whatever they want. But I tell you, you don't know. Unless you're a very advanced soul, extremely advanced, you will know. And that's the only time you will know. Because you're aware, because you're watching, because you see the process, and you see your karma. You can see your whole life ahead of you, behind you. And how do you develop that ability to see? Because everything that is already there. Everything that is already there. Electricity was already there. It took one person to say, I'll make a light bulb and let's get the electricity through, but it was always there, always there. Gravity was always there, but Newton comes along and says, this is gravity. It was always there. The earth was always round, but Galileo came along and said, no, it's not flat, it's round. Do you see how we progress in time? What we know today may be the total untruth of what they're going to discover tomorrow. And the future will be, they'll see us as we are, atoms buzzing away. Buzzing, that's what we are, atoms buzzing. And the more spiritual we become, and how do you become spiritual? For me, it's the Lord of love. Adapting that love for everything and everyone, that joy creates these happy atoms that take a lot of room and create a lot of good energy. That's why when people are happy, they love to hug, they love to spread out, and when people are miserable, they sit like this. Or something too. Right? So remember, this is one of the practices when people come to me and they go, release that. I go, sit straight. Breathe in. And already you feel better. Already you feel better. So what did you do with me quick? Stretch out. Oh, it's really lovely feeling. You feel free. Breathe in. Yeah, just do it again. Oh, it's really great feeling to stretch. And allow yourself to breathe. And not fear it, you know? Not fear it. Just breathe. You know, get up in the morning, first thing you do, look at the sun or the light and go, thank you for the light, and stretch. And stretch, really stretch, allow your body to do this. And then you can do your meditation or whatever you want. You start the day with the divine energy, end the day in your mind with divine energy, and you will always be in tune with these atoms. I was saying in the future, we'll probably see Star Trek. Was it? Any Trekkies here? I'm too old for all of you. Wait, what do you say? Something, I've forgotten now.
Beam me up, Scotty.
That's the one! You're a good girl! And you're young.
Thank you.
Beam me up, Scotty.
You are?
You are young, yes.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty. Psst, press a button, all the atoms. We don't know. Look how many things have come to our lives in the last, 50 years, 60 years? Computers, internet, oh my God, it's quite phenomenal. Quite phenomenal how technology is growing. Why? Because it's never ending. The universe is always creating. So why do you fear death? Why? Most of our problems stem from fearing death. People come to me, oh, I don't fear death. If you didn't fear death, you would not fear life. You would not fear life. You would understand life is just a play. So when problems come to you, be able to handle them. The fact that you can't, there's a deep-rooted fear. There's a deep-rooted fear. Because if you really understood death and made friends with death, if you really have made friends with death, you really cannot do anything else but live well. Because you know your time is short. You know. Every day you get up and you know. And then you ask for magic. You ask. Lord Jesus said, ask and you shall receive, right? Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. I didn't say it, Lord Jesus said. Gurudev used to tell me, my father used to tell me, if you're angry with God, scream at him and tell him to give you what you want. You really can't handle it. Now there's no need. In the early days I used to fight with God. And of course, every time he'd answer me right away, like this. True, because I had such a devotion. You better give me an answer. I can't do this anymore. You really want to believe this energy exists? Show it to me. Sometimes you have to be a little kind of strong.
Then you have to remember to listen too.
Yeah, that's the problem. Most people don't. Most people get messages and they, I don't want it this way. But you got it this way. No, but I wanted it this way. Yeah. Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Oh, I could get better. Or this could be, or that could be. Anything can be. We don't know. We really don't know. What we do know is this moment. And this is what all the spirituality today is coming back to. This moment. This moment. Keep brainwashing yourself. Okay, problem comes. I have this moment. I'm panicking. No, wrong. I am not panicking. My mind and my thoughts are panicking. Think again. Sit down. Take a deep breath. Who am I? Why am I giving this so much energy? It's draining me. Sooner or later it's going to pass. Everything passes. Pleasures pass. Sorrows pass. Everything passes. Why am I so focused and grasping on this moment? Let go. It takes literally 30 seconds in your mind if you practice it all the time. Every time you watch yourself panic, immediately do this practice. First time might take you 2 to 3 minutes. Second time, maybe 2 minutes. Maybe 5 or 6 times, 2 minutes. And then after 20 or 30 times, 30 seconds. And after that, automatic. Automatic. Moment something happens that is shocking, you just steady. Why? Because you've been training yourself to follow the truth. And what is the truth? The truth never changes. So the truth becomes your best friend because the truth, knowledge, bliss is what we're made up of. The real soul, the spirit. Om Shanti. So truth, knowledge, bliss is in the atmosphere along with our atoms. Along with the atoms. So when we understand the truth will look after us. It will look after us. It's quite amazing how it does that. But when we deny, because we fear people, we fear time, all our fears. What for? It's a human trait. Fine, let me deal with it. But don't let me indulge in it. Ask for that prayer. Let me understand it. Don't let me resist it. That's the prayer. I'm resisting. I'm saying I don't want. Give it to me. Give me the understanding. Give me the understanding. Ask and you shall receive. Give me the understanding. May I be blessed to attend all situations to benefit as many people as possible, including myself, because I am part of that energy. If I always say, you, too good for you, but no, I'm not deserving, again, I'm separating the energy. So this is why I loved it when my master taught me a perfect action is one that causes no harm to anyone and some benefit to someone, yourself included. So when you're feeling a little agitated, better to be truthful and take it out than to keep it in there. People may not like you too much, but that's no problem. You don't mean it badly. You don't want to hurt anyone. When you live truthfully, your life becomes very clear. it becomes and you make it very clear to everybody else. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the traits that they say is so important is straightforwardness. Be straight with people. For me, this is one of the most incredible traits: straightforwardness, honesty, courage. We live in a world where we're so people-pleasing. All the time, all the time, all the time. Yes, be good to all, love all. Doesn't mean you have to please them and make them happy to flatter them. They don't want flattery. I don't, at least. Somebody doesn't like me, they don't like me, I like it. They tell me straight to my face, great. At least you know where you stand. Isn't it good? You know where you stand. You stay out of their way. Great. They don't like you. Wonderful. Your choice. Truth is one, parts of many. Not everybody's going to like you. Correct? Some people will love you and adore you, and some people are not going to like you. Some people will say, oh, I remember somebody was telling me, I don't have my rings on. I was wearing a ring. Somebody came to the talk, was really disturbed. I can't listen to her talk. She's wearing rings. I laugh. And this person told me she was really upset. Why did you get upset with her? She doesn't like my rings. That's her choice. Hari Om, yes.
25
Oh.
days. That's what's called.
Yeah, sorry.
Body awareness.
I know, I was going to look, I didn't want to disturb you, but
Thank you.
It's like that.
Beep, beep, beep.
We're still
Guys.
You.
Say sorry. Poor person waiting out there. Beep, we've been going on for ages.
yeah.
I thought maybe for a change it wasn't from here, it must have been somewhere else, but it's always from here. What can we do? We have to laugh. So where was I? I don't even know.
Rings.
Oh, yes. So they said, and she said, oh. I said, well, don't worry. It's normal. I said, when I did my Raj Yoga exam many years ago, and in my home in Hong Kong, my mother was very particular about how I dress, so always dress well to give a talk. And I remember it was my first teacher training course, and I go there, and of course there are 12 of us students, and the teacher asked them to comment, and somebody said to me, she said, oh, I loved your talk, but I don't like that you dress nicely. Okay, I couldn't stop laughing. I found it so funny. And my teacher got really upset and said, don't look externally, look internally. But it happens with many people who go into spirituality. They think you have to be dirty and messy in order to find God. I don't believe that. Aesthetics, right? You get a lot of that. You go to India and they give up everything. Yes, if you want to be a monk, please do. It's a good path too, but it has to be what you were brought up to be. You have to be who you are. So, and I started laughing. I thought it's so funny. I said, you really judge me on my rings or my clothes? How funny. And then I realized this is the way of the world. Even at a spiritual course, they're judging you all the time. All the time, all the time. So it doesn't matter what you do. People will judge you all the time. Just understand that death comes. You better live your truth with God. Make that your boss. As the Bible says, seek Him first and all its righteousness, all the right things, everything else will be added onto you. But we seek everything else first. We seek the material, we seek the approval, we seek everything first. We'll always be disappointed because all that is impermanent. What is permanent? What is permanent? Your energy, your soul, your connection with all, your connection with the light. So work on that constantly. You don't have to meditate for 10 hours to achieve that. In this day and age, the universe is very kind, giving us so much information about the spirit. Just 20 years or 25 years ago when I first started yoga, some of you will remember, hardly any information anywhere on the spirit. And yoga and Sri Patanjali and Gita and all these great texts and all these Buddhist texts and all the great texts hidden from most people. And what has happened? The universe wants us all to grow in light. So now everything is available. Everything is available. Before it was you can't do this. And why? Because only a few people maintain that truth. It took great souls like these masters to say, no, it's not just for the people, the priest or the Brahmin or the Swami. It's for all of us. And these great souls came out and gave it to all of us and say, it's available to everybody. Well, they did it. Lord Jesus was one of the primary ones to do it. And what did they do to him? Crucify him. Why? Because he called us all brothers and sisters. Because he said he was the Son of God and we were all his brothers and sisters, which means we're all children of the divine energy. And they crucified him. So the late 1800s to the late 1900s, another generation of great masters appeared on the earth to take us another step forward. And now the whole universe is conspiring. If you look at the internet, conspiring to make us holy and to make us happy and to make us rich in spirit. But what do? We still get in touch. We say all the nice words. We send all the pretty emails. But we don't live it. So what's the point? They're giving, they're showering this wisdom on us. And still we get attached. But they're literally showering it. And we're not getting the message. We still want to indulge in, I want this and I want that. I just think this universe is so kind. So much available to all of us. We should be like, I'm drinking all this information in and I'm going to live it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to be peaceful. That's all you can really do about it is fix yourself. You can't fix anybody else. But I'm going to do it without expectation from anybody. I'm going to be as truthful as possible, as loving as possible, because my time, a human body is a great gift. We got it this time. The human body we can realize. It says it is one of the most precious gifts, having the human body, because in this body we can realize who we really are. We can change things. We are given the gifts of the God by having, the gods have given us this gift to co-create with them. We have the ability to burn out negative karma and create beautiful new ones. We have the ability. In Sri Patanjali in book 4, when it talks about freedom of the soul, it compares it to a farmer in an irrigation field. Any of you know about irrigation and farming? Okay, so when you have a field, what they do is they have these obstacles, right? Like in the olden days, they used to have these wooden blocks, like paddy fields, like rice fields. They used to have these wooden blocks to shut off water. And what would happen is when they needed water, they would press this lever and these blocks would come up and the water would go to all the paddy fields and the rice would grow because they needed water. And Sri Patanjali explains it like that. We are like this farmer, this is our irrigation field. We just have to remove the blocks, the block chakras with emotions, remove the ignorance, thinking that we're going to live forever in this world and just focus on the material. Once you remove the blocks, the water will flow. The spirit will flow. It's that simple. What are blocks? That you have to find out for yourself. Know what your blocks are. What stops you? What stops you? One of the biggies is death, whether you like it or not. That's why I love to talk about death. Remind you, you're going to die. Don't waste too much time thinking. Could blink the next minute you're dead. Don't waste too much time. It's too late when you die. You know that song? In the Living Years? It's too late when you die. You know that song? People don't know music.
Like in the mechanics.
Yes, yeah. Do you know the words? To admit you don't see eye to eye, right?
Yes, he's talking about his father.
He's talking about his father, yeah. It's too late when you die to admit you don't see eye to eye. Do it in the living years. Do it in the living years. I tell people, if you're on the spiritual path and you're angry with someone, when you're upset, while you have the opportunity, fix it. It's too late when they die. It's too late when you die. You have to come back and do it karmically again. Forgive them. You don't have to be with them. You don't have to stay with them. You don't even have to be all over them. All you have to do is from here really forgive them. They don't even need to know that you forgive them or not. Unless you've done something really harmful, then you should. Clear it. Clear it. Clear it all. Wipe the slate. That's spiritual work. Wiping the slate clean. Making friends with life. To fix. That's why pain comes to us. There's something in us that we need to shift and fix. Something we haven't understood. You know? Maybe we're very possessive. Maybe that's why lots of things happen so that we can let go. Nothing is ours anyway. Everything, you, me, I'm impermanent. Guess what? This is going to be burnt in ashes. Ashes. This is going to be why I worry about it. But while I have it, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to be grateful for it. I'm going to thank God for it. I try to look after it best I can. Sometimes I fail. I ask for forgiveness. What can I do? But this is just on loan. It's on loan. I have a responsibility to look after it. I have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility. It's our gift. It's the temple. St. Paul called it our temple. Our temple. Where is your temple? Right here. You don't have to go on pilgrimage to find it. You don't have to go anywhere. You're in it. This is your temple. So keep the mind. What's part of the temple? The body, the mind, the spirit. So look after this temple. Make sure the mind is clean. Take away those blocks. What makes it untidy? You think you have a lot of time? You don't have time. Understand, death is near. Just understand that. Everybody knows they're going to die. Remind yourself. No big deal. You know, and I remember in the early days when sometimes I used to get very angry with my husband before I started yoga on the first few years, like really angry with him. And then I would tell myself, oh my God, if he died tomorrow, will I still be so angry? No, I would never be so angry. And then the ego would go away and I go, okay, I'm really sorry, darling. I didn't want to say sorry, but I'd go, I'm really sorry, darling, I really love you. And then, with that ego, but it took many years to work on that ego, but that helped me a lot. If he died tomorrow, would I be so angry? No, I'd forgive him I would totally forgive him. You know? So why can't I do it while he's alive? Why don't I want to say I'm sorry? Ego, pride, if I'm wrong, I say I'm sorry. If I'm not wrong, I didn't say I'm sorry. I would tell him, what if I die tomorrow and you didn't say sorry to me? I told him that many times. So well, he left before me, but at least everything was complete. That's why I can heal. There are no regrets, everything that needed to be said was said. Everything. And forgiven. I'm forgiven. Whatever wrong was forgiven. It's complete. It feels whole. It feels full. You know, you can live with that. How many people come to me, lost a partner, male and female? I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done that. If I had done that. Oh, why didn't I? Oh, every night I get up. Why didn't I do that? All the torture. It's too late. They can't change it. Why did I scream at my partner so much when they were limping to the bathroom? Why? It's too late. Fix it while you're living. Fix everything. And you know what? It makes you free. That's the wonderful thing. When you fix it, you become free. There's no more chains around your neck. Anger takes a lot from you. Fear takes a lot from you. Cowardice takes a lot from you. Strength doesn't take a lot from you. Courage doesn't take a lot from you. It gives you empowerment. And that's why I love the serenity prayer. You all know it. Will you say it with me? Lord, grant me the tranquility to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. That's the biggie.
Now the new version as well.
What is the new version?
Remember I mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, you did, but I forgot it. Tell me again.
Lord, grant me the serenity to know I cannot change anybody, The courage to change the one I can and the wisdom to know it's me.
I like this new prayer. Did you make it down?
No.
Write it down. Write it down. It's a pretty one. Did you hear her? The air conditioning was on. Maybe some of you didn't. Could you repeat it again loudly? Turn around because the voice echoes.
Lord, grant me the serenity to accept that I cannot change anybody, the courage to know, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know it's me.
The only person you can change is you. How wise is that? You cannot change anyone. If you're a good example, they may learn from it. But you know, I see so many partners in relationship and they're like lecturing all day long, nagging. The other partner comes to me, well, why should I listen to that person? They don't do anything, they just talk. Do you see? Just talking. Telling me to be peaceful, but they're not peaceful. People don't learn from talk. People learn from example. If you are peaceful, they will learn. First they won't believe it, that you've changed yourself to be peaceful, but after a long time when they watch it, then they want your peace, they want your peace, they want it. Because peace is an attraction. It's an attraction. All of us are attracted to it. Everybody is attracted to it. Everybody is attracted to happiness and peace. Everybody wants to be happy. Even a thief wants to be happy. That's why he steals. He thinks it will make him happy. He thinks in ignorance it will make him happy till he gets caught and gets put into prison. But he steals not for any reason, but he really believes his ignorance is a block. Remove that block and the divine will come through, the knowledge will come through. That's why all the religions, they're so clever, they're maps. That's why they tell us. We got the 10 Commandments, we got the yamas and niyamas. They give us guidelines on how to behave, to take those blocks out. I love the Sanskrit ones. You know, we in the center, we try to practice as much as we can, we sometimes fail, non-violence and truthfulness. For me, truthfulness is really powerful. Because I have learned in my life, many people are so untruthful to themselves. But so much of what they say is not true. Like giving advice when you don't practice it. It's not worth anything. When you practice it, it comes through. There's power in your words because you have the experience. It's just like if you know somebody's a good cook, you will go there and say, tasted your food's delicious and you're fast, can I learn from you? But you won't go to somebody who just tells you this is a brilliant recipe book, read it and learn from it. You go to somebody who's an expert in that field, wouldn't you? So make yourself that expert. Make yourself the expert of the spirit. What are the laws of the spirit? What are the laws of life? What are the laws that create magic that we can see into the next dimension? What is blocking us, the vision to communicate with the gods? What is blocking us to speak with the universe? The only thing that blocks us is ourselves. And all life will bring experiences to us till we realize it. And we don't get it this time, we got many lifetimes to get it. And talking about burning karmas up, we can do this. We have a tapestry, but we can change it. And I'll tell you a story that Gurudev tells in the Yoga Sutras of Sri Patanjali. There's this man sitting in the forest, meditating for years, so many years that an anthill has, been built all around him. And this saint, Narada, is known in our Hindu mythology to be one of these, angels or saints. He's quite mischievous, likes to cause trouble, but he comes to earth and likes to move energy. Anyway, Narada comes down, and the saint recognizes, this guy who's meditating recognizes him. Narada, you know Lord Shiva. Please ask Lord Shiva, how many more lifetimes do I have on this earth? No problem. come back next year, I'll give you the answer. Then he goes further into the forest, and there's this man singing and dancing, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, happy. He goes, Narada recognizes him as well. Please, 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 could you do me a favor? Could you ask Lord Shiva how many lifetimes I have left on this earth? No problem. I come back next year and let you know. So next year comes, Narada comes back, and this guy on the anthill, what did Lord Shiva say? Lord Shiva said you have 4 lifetimes left. What? 4 lifetimes? And I've been meditating so long, and I still have 4 lifetimes. And then he goes, the guy who's dancing and singing, and he goes, you know, what did Lord Shiva say? See that tree? Yeah. See how many leaves in that tree? Yeah. Well, you have as many lifetimes as there are leaves on that tree. Is that all? Well, yay, I can do this. I can do this. And he sings. And suddenly, at that moment, a chariot comes down from the heavens. So where are you taking me? So, you've learned the lesson. You don't need it anymore. So let's go. He's burnt it. No fear, no worry. Total joy, total acceptance. Total acceptance. Swami Vivekananda. You know, sometimes we say, oh, I'm so tired of life, let this be my last life, I want to come back, or whatever. Swami Vivekananda, at his last said, you know, bring me back as many times as you like, so long as I'm of use and I can serve the nation. Otherwise, take me where you will. Take me where you will. All in your hands. If I can come back to serve and help souls, then bring me back. He was already free. If you read his life story, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. His master was Ramakrishna, and Ramakrishna was one of the greatest saints of the 18th century, late 19th century. I have a photo of him, one of the first photographs taken in those years, you know, black and white photographs. And on the black and white photograph, you see his halo. Quite interesting. In those days, when they didn't have trick photography or anything, quite amazing. I'll bring it and show you another day. There are many things to show us that the divine is there. Many, many, many. And we are supposed to awaken this halo from the Sahasrara chakra, which is a connection with the divine. This is where it happens. This is why in babies it is so soft. So soft. Because they still connect. And after 7 years, then it gets really hard, you know? And that's the part that connects us. We open it up again with meditation. We clear the blockages so that the divine energy can come through. That's all.